20 kilo, I just looked it up there, 44 pounds of fucking fat, or like 3 and a bit stone. You know, if you want to be able to do that very quickly, chances are you're going to have to go pretty hard at it. The thought in your head where you're like, I've all this weight to lose, right? And this is where the head comes back into it. I've all of this weight to lose. I'm only at the very start of it. How am I going to do this? The hungry days or the hungry nights, making food and thinking, oh, fuck me, like, how am I going to do this? And I won't lie, okay, and I haven't said this to him. Dangerous with black on the kitchen, black on the bottom. We have marble effect countertops and white on the top. You can barely see it. Everything needs another coat now because it's just been painted, but it needs to be painted again tonight. Marble tiles for the splashback, and then she's going, Danielle, is beige doors. All the doors are grey at the moment. When we first moved in, she went through a grey phase. And the grey phase was gone after a while. And now we're in a beige phase. So the house is going to be beige with a bit of colour here and there. That tile situation is not pretty. But that will be changed. And those sockets in a week's time. Please God. Maybe 2 weeks. These are all going, well, I'm taking them off, putting on new brushed brass ones. Lads, this is the situation on the fucking bathroom. It's a very small bathroom, but we're working what we have. New window went in there last week. Shower tray is in at the moment. It's going to be nice. There was a big old kind of dirty bath here, right? It took up the whole fucking place. And I know the shower's taking up a big thing, but it's the shower, you know? Toilet has been moved to here. It was there. We're going to get a floating sink, towel rail, nice mirror, new light. So yeah, take a look at that now and come back in about, let's say 3 weeks, and you'll see what it looks like. Morning sups to go in. Echinacea. I'm just going to put that in now coming into the winter. Echinacea is like a strong thing that fucking helps with colds and stuff. The stuff I put this camera on. That as well, Explayer. The light is gone in it and the fucking fan is dodgy. That is getting taken out before these tiles go on. And there's a new one going on there anyway. You'll see that. Oh, I can't wait to be in this kitchen cooking, lad. You'll see there, look, that needs more paint there. 4 plates. Stiff leg deadlift last night. Those nighttime sessions, they go hard. They go hard, lad. I'm not going to lie. I've been used to, since being locked in, training, you know, early in the day. Not early, but early enough in the day. Those nighttime sessions this week, I've been training just because the schedule only allows me to train at nighttime, have been dangerous. Density last night, again, 4 plates. Last week it was 160. This week I said, fuck it, 180 is going on the bar. And lo and behold, I was nervous. I should have recorded it. I would have been able to show you here. But 180 went up for 6. The beat dropped on my top set song at the moment, and I gripped it and fucking ripped it. And it went up. It went up for 6. So, but a stiff leg is obviously a little bit different. You know, there's no leg movement in there. You're just pulling with the back. Well, glutes, hammy, back. But it's on the back. I'm feeling it. You know, you're pulling with the back. I'm going to put Monday's check-in also on the screen here. I was happy with Monday's check-in again. I've never been able to hold body composition for longer than a couple of weeks, right? Which, you know, sounds stupid, but it's true. That's really my goal at the moment. You know, I know I spoke a couple of videos ago about, you know, competing next year, doing this, doing that. I'm not going to speak massively on that because I don't know where I'm going to be, you know, this time next year. Well, this time next year I might have a season done. But, you know, in 6 months' time, you know, when we said prep will probably be starting, who knows where I'll be and what I'll be doing, you know? So I'm not going to be doing this build up to a big prep or anything and then never prep, because, you know, that's what I've kind of done in the last couple of years. Not last year, but like the year before, probably the year before that, saying, you know, this is when I'm prepping, I know I'm going to prep then, and then obviously I didn't. A big push to get this house wrapped up and just make it a home again. Cozy, nice for the winter. I still have to get the fucking, it's an old yoke, like, see that yoke in the corner? That's an old kind of, it heats the house. There was a part a fella took away for that. And trying to get people to come back with parts and come back and do stuff is proven to be an absolute nightmare, but we'll get there eventually. I have a small bit left to do outside, and then we're moving. The office is going to be our old bedroom. Our new bedroom will be like where Danny's beauty room kind of was, and then the office, my old smaller office, will be the spare room slash, what's it called? Nursery, I suppose. That's where the child will go, if there's a child coming at any stage, possibly. But that's why I'm in my head, I'm this, that, and the other. Am I going to do a prep? I'd like to ideally get a prep out of the way, you know, before we potentially have a child. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll never step on a bodybuilding stage. I'll keep, you know, riling it up every single year. I'm going to do it this, I'm going to do it that, and never step on stage. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to head out to work. Who remembers that Reese's mug? That is a mug of tea. I've got no milk in the house either, so we're raw dogging a black tea. I was on the way home, and, you know, I've been thinking to myself a lot recently, you know, taking a step back and thinking to myself, okay, you know, this is the amount of times you've, you know, gone around in circles, that surely you're at the stage now and mature enough that this can just be the last time that you've had to get yourself out of a rut and get yourself on the path. I am in belief, I suppose you'd say, of thinking this is the last time I've had to get myself out of a rut, lose that massive chunk of weight to get to where I am right now and be able to, you know, continue doing what I want to do, and not have to be doing that shit and going through, you know, spending those weeks and months that you've spent so many times doing before that you couldn't move on to do new stuff, you know, in regards to my progression, my physique development, you know, in my head. And the brain is a powerful thing. Like, the brain controls every decision we make. And that's why, you know, I have to think to myself, I just need to work on myself. I need to work on myself to, you know, continue building on that to get me past it. And that's why I wanted to, you know, I suppose break down how I managed to lose that amount of weight over the last couple of months to bring me back, why I think it's the last time I'll have to do it, and I suppose how you could do it as well from just what I did myself. You know, I've taken people through massive transformations, massive weight losses also, and it's all in the head, you know, when you're coming back out of it. And I get worried myself, you know, as a coach, I get worried myself even, you know, when someone's getting to the very end of a diet, you know, because you're so invested in that client. When they're getting to the end of a diet, you know, things are cruising along, you know their weight, you know, their weight here, their weight there, and you're thinking, you know, it's you know, you can't control what that client is thinking, you know, and what is going on in that client's head. But you can obviously try and help them manage it as much as possible. I'm starving. I'm going to actually take a bite. This meal one is actually looking pretty mint. This is heated up oats, and we've got 70 grams of oats in here. We've got 200 grams of frozen fruit. We've 30 grams of protein powder, cinnamon donut, salt, cinnamon. I don't have any PB2 in here, so I must actually remove that from MyFitnessPal, but that's what meal one is looking like. I'm going through a phase where I like cold oats some days, like thick cold oats, or else I just like thick hot oats. It's hit and miss. Some days I have one bowl of oats, some days I have two. So I suppose back in November, I want to say, I was back and forth last year a good bit to Manchester with Keane and Mike. And every time I went over there, the lads were like, have you been in the gym? Have you been, on your diet? No, I haven't. I've been a couple of times. I'm getting back into it. I'm fucking on it. I'm on it. I'm getting on it again. And then next time I go back over and see them, how many training sessions have you done? 1. None. And, that's... I want to feel my best. I want to feel, like I'm on top of my shit. But it was, it was a shit feeling, and I'll whack some pictures up here of different things just to give you some, idea of where we were. And I don't want to put these pictures up and, et cetera, because as a coach myself, I need, and I know a lot of coaches will see themselves and people sign up to people who are in really good shape. I've been very fortunate, not to be posting, like, it's been over a year now since I've offered a coaching slot and my inquiry form has continued to be filled out. Not at the level that it was, obviously, because, I got to a stage in the videography where I was just like, Jesus, I'm trying to manage these things. But because I'm so much more on top of my shit now, I could manage 50, 60, however many clients, on top of the videography, because my day and weeks are laid out as they are. But this was myself back in November, I'm pretty sure, around 105 kilos, possibly. I could be wrong saying that, over 100 anyway, 105 possibly. Like, that is a bad place to be, in my opinion. It was a very bad place to be. I was just working, eating like shit, sleep was shit, not a bit of training. Food was just nah. And I was just in a hole, lad. I was really in a hole. As the end of the year came there, I was working a good bit, but my head was just so fried. And it was just the most horrible feeling. I had no idea where I was going. I was in a dark enough place. No one knew that I was in that dark enough place. I was just cruising along. But for someone, of the place I was and have gotten myself, and whatever shape I'm in is a big indicator of, how I feel, to be honest with you. And it is. And it is for a lot of people, I know. But it is for me. I know a lot of people, people just don't give a shit about how they look and how they feel, etc. and love life. And that's, unreal. It's just whatever someone's personal preference is. But I wasn't in a good space of mind at all. Tried to get back into a little bit on that side of Christmas, just couldn't. Fast forward then another couple of months, at the start of the year, I'm like, yeah, let's get back into it, lad, let's get back on it. Just couldn't get myself back on it, get into the gym. And because I had gotten to that point where I just detested the gym, I just detested it. And I was looking at people, training on Instagram and YouTube and this, that and the other, and I was like, how have I lost that love that I had before to just get into the gym and attack it? I lost this love, you call it, for the gym, very early 2023. Very early 2023. Even 2022, it was starting to deteriorate. For whatever reason it is, this is what I'm saying. This is the way the brain works. Chemicals in the brain, who fucking knows? Environment that you're in, and obviously the environment as 2023 into the start of 2023 got bad and bad and bad. As I got out of that, I was just in no man's land in terms of my training and this, that and the other. And obviously, with the way businesses were moving, and I was just like, fucking hell, lad. I know, as I said, I was going to, explain to you how you can lose this much weight. I'm just giving a good background, of, how possibly you might gain weight as well, or you might have gained weight over the last couple of years and you're thinking, I need to get it off quick. A big thing that you need to be thinking to yourself as well is, if it took me 2 years to gain, the weight to the weight that I am now compared to where I was, and I want to get back there, don't be thinking to yourself that it's going to take you fucking 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months. You can do a lot in 6 months, you can do a lot in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and even a year, fuck me. But just give yourself the time and understand that it's going to take that little bit of time. And I know when you're listening to reels on Instagram, TikToks, YouTubes, everyone is saying that, but it is the bottom line, right? I've been talking on a vape and I've not been proud of it because it's not a good thing. I'd love to not be on it, and I've, semi tried to stop it a couple of times. But I've been toking on a vape since I was 16, 17, and I'm 23 now, probably for the last 8 years, 9 years, to be completely honest with you. So it is what it is, and there's no point in trying to hide that. I tried to hide it, right? To be fair, I did try and hide the fact that I vaped when I went on social media at start, because I was thinking this is going to be very frowned upon in this whole healthy bodybuilding kind of lifestyle and stuff. And then I'm thinking to myself, like the culture of vaping, the whole vaping thing became so popular in like 2022, 2023 in bodybuilding. I was thinking, Jesus, lad, if you had been open about it, maybe you could have set the trend. It's not healthy at all, and I'm not recommending it. I know the way it's gone over the last year or whatever, but it is a coping mechanism for me. Fucking hell, I couldn't live without it. And it's an addiction at the end of the day. It's an addiction. So it's the nicotine, but I know it's there the whole time and it's in my hand and fucking talking on it the whole time. But maybe one day we will get off it. I'm not saying I'm going to try and get off it right now, but so many tangents. How long have I've been going on for 12 minutes already. So many tangents. Anyway, fast forward again. I love the way I can, go on about all these different things and just clear things up. And it just brings us to the present. Fast forward then another couple of months, March, April kind of time. This is the way I was looking. All right, it's not a picture, but it's a picture Cian Kelly sent me when we were in a gym doing a content day. When he sent me this, I nearly got sick looking at this. Like, I'm at the point now, I'm like, whoa. That's, how do you put yourself in that position again, lad? And again, it's just from time going along, not taking care of myself. But that's a bad position to be in. And this is what I'm saying, I'm spending that time now in my thoughts of like, this is exactly what you need to do. That's why you're seeing me, go from nothing again, go from nothing here again to back, just meticulously tracking everything. And, even if Danielle says, this, that, and the other, can you leave a gym off? There was an evening this week, I hadn't trained early in the day because of work. And it was at night. I said, look, I'm going to the gym. And I pre-warned her saying, look, I'm going to the gym tonight. And she was like, yeah, grand. When that time did come around, it was trying to do everything that she possibly could to not let me go to the gym. And I said, look, this is a slippery slope and you know it is yourself. And I don't want you to look at me in a couple of months' time and be thinking, fuck me, you're a fat bastard. Right? Not that she's going to say that to me. She would say it to me anyway. We've been together for over 6 years. We fucking say whatever we want to each other in a good way, But I just need to be on top of things, and that's why I'm looking back here. This is the last time that I need to be doing this. I don't want to be coming on YouTube or any platform ever again to be saying, it feels good to be back on it. I want to be on it. End of, okay? So that's the position we were in, that time frame. Fast forward then again, left it off for a while. And then end of April came around, and I was like, right, this isn't going to be easy, but like, I need to start doing something with myself here. I was coming into like a really busy period at work, and I was thinking to myself, oh, fuck, like I'm doing all these photo shoots and stuff. I'd love to be looking good, myself and feeling good myself at these photo shoots. And just starting to, get into the groove of things, So end of April, very start of May is when I started to put the hammer down. And I am very all or nothing, and that's why I need to be careful with it as well. But I locked in and we pushed on. I let Cian take over things. I think I know all these things myself. I know I need to be doing this, that, and the other. And I have gone through periods where I've coached myself relatively okayly, and when the time has come where I was like, I need to stop coaching myself, I've let a coach take it over. But I let Cian take it over, and I'm going to let Cian continue to take it over. Myself and Cian have a very good relationship, which is a friend relationship and a coach-to-client relationship. Him being my client and me being his client for two separate things as well. And we've got a very strong relationship there now. We've gotten to know each other very well, I would say, in the last, year, yeah. I'm actually very accountable to Cian. I would say probably the most accountable to anyone that I've ever been, surprisingly, from being so close to him. And that's you know, kudos to him for that as well. That's the way he comes across, obviously. And, you know, I am very accountable to him, you know, and I hope to continue, because obviously it's time will tell with that, how my accountability will be. That's what I've, you know, had problems with in the past with coaches. And it's not the coach being the problem, it's myself being the problem, where my accountability to that coach will just be like, nah, fuck it, you know, and I'll be doing these things, saying I'm doing this and doing something else, this, that and the other. But with Keane right now, you know, and I do expect it to continue, my accountability is very high, and I'm really enjoying that. And telling him to take things over has been fantastic, because I don't have to think about it too much. If I want my input, I'll give him my input, and he's very good with that. I've had previous situations where I want to do something that I know fucking works, because I've done it when I left that person and it fucking works. Where it's just been like, no, this is what works, you know, and this, that and the other. But I hate that kind of shit, you know. Coaching is, you know, a two-sided thing, you know, and, you know, it's my body. I know a bit about my body, and, you know, from my previous experiences, you know, I've been doing this and researching and, you know, watching a lot of YouTube and stuff for a long time now. A long time, right? A long time. And when I say a long time, I don't mean 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. A long time. It's, you know, it's annoying, but not looking back, it's annoying, obviously, you know, having only made this amount of progress, you could say, but it's obviously no one's fault, only my own. But we just continue with it. Battery died. Like, this battery had a few bars on it. I just finished the job. I'm gonna have to buy more batteries for my own videos, because I only just bought 2 new batteries, but I stuck a few on charge there now, because we'll be going again tomorrow, so it'll just let me get them charged early, so I don't forget to do them this evening, because, you know, sometimes you could forget. Anyway, hopefully you're stuck around to, like, actually see and listen to what the title of the video probably is, and why you might have clicked on the video. But fast forward anyway, we got straight stuck into it. Food plan, training plan, cardio, steps, you know, just back on a plan, right? Still wasn't really bothered about the gym, to be completely honest with you. Was going, you know, not against my own will, Jesus. Was going because I wanted to go to tick my boxes, we'll say, right? To show up that next week, my sessions are done. Not every week all my sessions will get done, but that's because, you know, I wasn't making a priority, and I wasn't asked, because the love still wasn't there. And I do my bit of cardio. Sometimes I'd miss a session here and there. Steps, you know, again, I wasn't tracking my steps really. Now I'm obviously very conscious of everything, but wasn't doing this, wasn't doing that. Tracking the food all right, and then I said to Keane, look, I can push things hard here. And we just dropped the food down to like 0 carb again. And again, because the experience I've had with doing these different things before, I know I can do them. You know, I'm not saying that you can yourself, but if you do want to get, you know, 20 kilo is what, you know, I've managed to pull off to get to my kind of lowest from my highest 20 kilo, right, which is a lot of fucking weight. 20 kilo, I just looked it up there, 44 pounds of fucking fat, or like 3 and a bit stone. You know, if you want to be able to do that very quickly, chances are you're going to have to go pretty hard at it. I did it across May, June, July, August then. Yeah, you could say, I suppose, and I had a 2-week holiday in between that as well, in the middle of that. I suppose we probably did that in 3.5 months, being realistic. I could be wrong now, not looking at timelines and stuff like that, and Keane might say, no lad, it was this, it was that. For argument's sake, just say 3.5 months. Not the easiest thing to do, but if you're looking to do it yourself, right, we went bloody hard with the food, okay? Obviously we had that 2-week holiday, which was not all inclusive, but nearly as good as, right? Obviously breakfast was included, dinner was included, and it's buffet food 7 days a week, and we were there for 2 weeks. I managed that very well. If I didn't have managed that very well, obviously fat loss would have, you know, probably stalled, but I reckon fat loss did continue slowly on holidays as well, because I was conscious of it, and I was, you know, I wasn't working, so I had that time there, you know, while Dan was at the pool. I could say, look, I'm going to hop on the bike there now, or I'm going to go and get my training in. So I got more training in on holidays in those 2 weeks than I did probably in you know, 3 weeks or even a month, you know, being at home. Came back then, back onto 0 grams of carbs pretty much, trace grams of carbs, and just eating protein and fat only. Low fat again, just protein. And it's the thought in your head where you're like, I've all this weight to lose, right? And this is where the head comes back into it. I've all of this weight to lose. I'm only at the very start of it. How am I going to do this? The hungry days or the hungry nights, making food and thinking, fuck me, like, how am I going to do this? And I won't lie, okay, and I haven't said this to him. There was one period, not like probably halfway through the fat loss, right? And it was obviously more midsummer here, you know, and I'm thinking I was very close to giving Keane a message and saying, look, lad, I'm actually going to take things over myself again here, right? And fuck me if I had done that, because I was just drained, right? I really was. I was fucking drained. And I was thinking to myself, I could manage things myself here, you know, bring the weight off slowly, enjoy, you know, a couple of bits here and there. But again, that's an issue, right? I wouldn't have taken the weight off, and I'd probably be back to square one quicker than I know it. Maybe not as bad, but I had to just push through it. And that's the biggest thing when you've got such a big, you know, a chunk of weight to lose or whatever it might be, or, you know, you endeavour in a prep or something like that, or a diet, whatever it might be. You just have to think to yourself, look, fucking hell, I'm at the start of it here now. I know I've got a way ahead of me, but I got to the other end of it, you know, after doing that amount of cardio, you know, fucking a lot of cardio, right? Obviously, you know, specifics doesn't matter because I'm going to be different to you. A lot of cardio, a lot of steps, no food. Okay, like, you're going to be hungry. Shit is going to be hard. You're going to be looking at the next day and think the next couple of weeks and looking at your pictures and thinking, you know, I have a long way to go here, lad. But when I got to the point where Keane was like, right, we're going to pull the diet, and we're, you know, even just around that point where Keane was saying he was going to pull the diet, I'm thinking, that's where I was, you know, and that's the work that I did to get to where I am right now. And it's a weight off my shoulders, because this will be the last time that I will do this. That was just fucking so worth it, lad. Just every day you wake up and you're like, fuck, I just want to, you know, eat this or eat that, or just relax and not do this bit of cardio. And as I said to you, you know, because I wasn't prepping and because I wasn't fully back into it with my head and I hadn't the love for it back. I was just doing a job of getting that fat off. That's literally what it was. It wasn't the love for training. It wasn't the love for anything, bodybuilding wise or just fitness wise. I was just doing a job to get that fat off. Only that the love for it is back now. I am so appreciative that I just went through that really hard phase, which was easy probably for me comparative to what it might be. You know, everything is relative here. You know, with the experience that I have, not to sound cocky or anything, but I know a thing or two. It wasn't that bad for myself because I've done it since a young fella, like really hard, you know, pushed myself really hard in phases, to the point, you know, where probably health isn't fucking the best thing and wasn't the best thing, but I've just done that because I've just sent it. But now we're here, you know, and I've that amount of weight gone off, everything is in a better position, you know, as I've said in previous videos. And if you're looking to do the same thing, if you're in a similar position, you know, where summer has gone by, you know that there's a lot of weight there to lose, and you're thinking, can I do this before Christmas? Because I've been in those limbos as well. It's been January, start of the year. I'm going to be in great shape for summer. Summer will come around. I won't be in great shape. And then I'm like, right, I'm going to be in great shape for going back to school in September. Same for yourself, going back into college, or, you know, just work. If you're working for September, I'm going to be in great shape. Or that doesn't work out, I'm like, right, September's here, this is my start point, I'm going to be in unreal shape for Christmas. That doesn't work out, you know. If you are starting that now, you have to think to yourself, right, I just need to give it time. Chances are I probably need to have someone guide me in the right direction. It is going to be an investment, right? I'm going to have to spend that bit of money to get that person to lead me there and hold me accountable, simple as, right? It obviously will be the best investment that you could spend on yourself, in all fairness. You will not regret spending however many €100 every single month on yourself when you are at that position, okay? And look back at it. I know sending that money to that coach and stuff every single month, you're thinking, right, fuck this, okay? Things aren't moving in the first month or two, and you're like, nah, I'm done with this, sack it off. You're back in your old ways. you little do you know, as I would have said in so many videos before, little do you know, in that next following week or 2 weeks or a month, you see all the change and all the work that you've put in, right? And that's compounding every single month. So you really start to see the benefits after the work you've put in from the coach that you have. Simple as. Understand that it's going to be fucking hard. You're going to be doing cardio, steps. Your expenditure is going to be high. It's person dependent how much you're going to do of everything, how low your food is going to go. Your food is probably going to be low. You'll mature a lot as a person, right? And I do every single time that I do something like this, I mature a lot as a person, and I look back at it and I'm like, thankfully for that. Yeah, oats are probably freezing after that now again. I feel like that was a sit down video in itself. Maybe it should be, but it's not today. So maybe it should have been, to be fair, but we'll just roll with it. Maybe it is like a sit down video in itself, but obviously just with me doing other bits in it as well. I know I stuck the check-in up earlier. No changes this week to the plan, which is what I was expecting, to be fair. Obviously weight jumped around a small little bit. After that off-plan meal on Saturday, my weight on Monday was 86.3. Back down to 85.4, I think, yesterday, which was Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, we were 86, so it's jumping around the place a small little bit, but like food, with training late the last 2 days as well, like food has gone in very late. And I'm also still a little bit slow moving, so I'm not really giving a shit about what the scales is saying, just as long as the look is holding, you know, week to week. Get a couple meals in, it's a rest day. I do have 20 minutes of cardio to do as well at some stage. That'll probably be this evening because I have more work to do. I'm going to head out now again. Then tonight we're going to be doing more painting, I reckon. I can't wait to just be like back cooking and just in that kitchen, and you know, I'm going to get a new fridge. I have to get a new fridge, new dishwasher, Ninja air fryer. I'm just getting rid of that air fryer that we have. It's disgusting. And I'm tempted to buy a Ninja Creamy. You know, I said during the diet I'd buy a Ninja Creamy, but I didn't, and I just wasn't bothered then because my appetite was low. But I might buy a Ninja Creamy, you know, I might. What is the story? It is considerably later than when we last spoke, but the show must go on. You hear that? That's the sound of... Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm actually dragging my feet now, to be honest, but we must tick the box. It's just after 9 o'clock. This is where rest day shows, because the last 2 nights, like as I said, getting up between... I was awake at 6:15 this morning. Getting up between, you know, between 6 and 7, we'll say, I'm up. But those 2 sessions over the last 2 days were, you know, last night I didn't start training till 9 o'clock. I'm just warming up here, by the way. So I haven't actually started the cardio, by the way, because I know this looks lazy as fuck. My cardio is not actually that lazy. I was fine, you know, energy was good. I was, you know, I was motivated to go into the gym, you know. Tonight now I'm tired, lad. This is where you think, what a freak. All these 3 numbers have to match before I finish on the bike. That has to be even. That has to be even. That has to be even. 20 minutes wrapped up. 240 calories. Just under 7k cycled. I had to strip out of the jumper and pants because that was not happening. But cardio wrapped up. Tomorrow's Thursday already. I don't know what the story is. The weeks do be flying. But we've got push tomorrow. The lighting in here now is not ideal. We actually just bought a new light for the kitchen. Hopefully like the down lighting is in there and I'll just be ripping side chests every opportunity I get. I'm waiting for the dishwasher to finish up. I wonder where there's like handy enough light in here now, lad. I don't know. Fuck it, lad. I've got good energy at this hour of the night these days. I don't know why.